Here in the temperate forests of the eastern Himalayas, the Bhutan Laughingthrush makes its presence known not by flamboyant colors but by richness of its voice. Endemic to Bhutan and adjoining parts of Arunachal Pradesh and Assam, this bird is a rare jewel of the mountains, white in appearance yet captivating in behavior. At first glance, the Bhutan laughingthrush carries an understated elegance. Its plumage is a mix of earthy browns and subtle streaks, perfectly blending into the shadowy understory of oak, rhododendron, and bamboo thickets. The bird's slightly scalloped patterning across the chest and back gives it a textured look as if the forest floor itself had shaped its feathers. Yes, such camouflage makes it difficult to spot, but its cheerful, tumbling calls often betray its presence. Like most laughing thrushes, this species is deeply social, rarely seen alone. They move in small bands, foraging noisily among shrubs, turning leaves, and probing crevices for insects, berries, and small fruits. Their restless activity and constant chatter add a sense of liveliness to the otherwise hushed mountain valleys. In mixed flocks, they interact with other forest birds, stitching together a complex symphony of sound that reverberates across the Himalayan ridges. The Bhutan laughing thrush has a restricted range, making it a bird of special interest to naturalists and bird watchers. Its habitats are often in remote, undisturbed forest places where clouds wrap around the slopes and moss carpets the stones. Encountering one feels like a gift of patience, a reminder that the Himalayas still harbor pockets of life that thrive quietly away from the rush of the modern world. Beyond its beauty and voice, this laughing thrush carries ecological significance by dispersing seeds and controlling insect populations. It helps sustain the delicate balance of the Himalayan ecosystem. For conservationists, its presence is both a delight and a signal proof of a healthy forest, but also a reminder of the fragility of mountain habitats under pressure from logging and human encroachment.
Tiny, dazzling, and full of life, the fire-breasted flowerpecker is one of the smallest birds of the Himalayas, yet it carries a flame in its heart. True to its name, the male wears a glowing patch of orange-red on its breast like a spark of fire, flickering against its glossy blue-black upper parts and pale underparts. The female, though more modest in shades of olive and yellow, has a gentle charm that blends beautifully with the forest greenery. Despite their size, these flowerpeckers are never still. They flit rapidly among treetops, feeding on nectar, fruits, and tiny insects. One of their favorite foods is mistletoe berries, and in feeding on them, they play a crucial role in dispersing seeds and sustaining the health of the forest ecosystems. Their call is a high pitched, almost tinkling note easy to miss unless one is attentive. Yet, once heard, it often leads the eye to their swift, darting movements among blossoms, where they hover briefly before darting away again in a flash of color and light.
In the quiet forests of Arunachal Pradesh, where oak and rhododendron thickets weave a cool green canopy, the hoary-throated Barwing moves with understated elegance. Unlike the flamboyant residents of the Himalayas, this bird wears the colors of the forest itself, warm browns brushed with fine streaks, a long tail patterned delicately, and its namesake hoary white throat that gleams softly in filtered light. The barwing is rarely alone. It travels in small, restless flocks, often accompanying other laughing thrushes, sibias, and fulveters in bustling mixed species parties. Their presence is betrayed not by brilliance of plumage, but by constant activity and lively chatter. They move through branches with nimble energy, probing bark, flicking leaves, and foraging for insects, berries, and tender shoots. To watch a flock of hoary-throated barwings is to witness woodland harmony. Each bird seems attuned to the rhythm of the group, flowing like notes in a woodland symphony. Their calls, sharp musical bursts, echo lightly through the valleys, adding texture to the layered chorus of the Himalayan hills. Though modest in appearance, their charm lies in this very subtlety.
Upon the ridges where clouds drift low and rhododendrons in springtime grow, the Himalayan Black Bulbul lifts its voice on high, a silver grey shadow against the sky. Its bill of fire, its legs aflame, a restless spirit none can tame. From cedar spire to berry trees, it scatters laughter wild and free. No solemn hymn, no mournful song, but chatter bright, both sharp and strong. A chorus carried through mountain air, declaring simply, life is here. O bird of Shergau's whispering pines, your music threads to tangled vines, and in your flight both swift and true, the forest itself seems born anew.
The spotted forktail, with its striking plumage and bold patterns, is among the most captivating of the Himalayan forest birds. Its presence is marked not by grandeur of size, but by elegance of form and contrast. Cloaked in sleek black, adorned with a scattering of crisp white spots across its wings and mantle, it looks as though the bird carries a fragment of starlight upon its back. Its long, deeply forked tail, boldly banded in white, flows behind it with every movement, accentuating its grace like a brushstroke trailing through air. This bird embodies poise. Its movements are brisk yet refined pauses held just long enough to show off the flicker of its tail or the turn of its sharp, attentive gaze. Unlike many forest birds that conceal themselves in layers of foliage, the spotted forktail is unafraid of being noticed. Its plumage is almost theatrical, a performance in black and white set against the subdued earth tones of Himalayan valleys and wooded slopes. Despite his striking appearance, the spotted forktail is not flamboyant in his voice. Its calls are brief, sharp notes, functional, direct, carrying a sense of alertness rather than song. Its silence only adds to the air of quiet mystery it holds, as if it relies more on its bold patterns and graceful presence to speak for itself. For birdwatchers, a sighting of this species is both dramatic and unforgettable. Each encounter reveals a creature that is at once delicate and bold, blending artistry with instinct. To see a spotted forktail is to be reminded of how nature delights in contrast, the dark and the bright, the swift and the still. The ordinary forest floor transformed into a stage where beauty performs in fleeting moments.
The mountain bulbul is a graceful songbird of the Himalayan foothills and forests of northeast India. Unlike the more common bulbuls, it carries a distinctive elegance with its olive brown plumage, streaked white throat, and a finely crested head that gives it a lively, alert appearance. Its calls are soft yet musical, echoing through mid elevation forests where it often joins mixed flocks feeding on berries, insects, and nectar. In places like Arunachal Pradesh, the mountain bulbul thrives in the cool, misty woods, adding both movement and melody to the canopy. Watching it forage through branches with its streaked plumage blending into moss and lichen is to glimpse a bird perfectly attuned to its habitat. Subtle yet full of charm, the mountain bulbul embodies the quiet vitality of the eastern Himalayas. Upon the pines where mist entwines, the mountain bulbul sings divine. With olive cloak and crest of grace, it flits through forests, leaves no trace. Its gentle notes the silence fills, a song of peace both soft and still. In fleeting flight the hills rejoice, the mountains echo with its voice.
Among the dense forests of the eastern Himalayas where rhododendrons climb high and oaks stand cloaked in moss, one bird glimmers like a living ornament of the wild, the golden-throated barbet. With its rich palette of colors and its resonant rolling calls, this bird is both a visual and auditory presence, embodying the vibrancy of the Himalayan foothills. At first glance, the golden-throated barbet is an artwork in emerald and gold. Its body, predominantly green, blends easily with the foliage, allowing it to disappear into its leafy surrounding despite its brilliance. But a closer look reveals the splendor that gives the bird its name, a radiant golden yellow throat that shines like a hidden flame, framed by patches of blue crimson and black around the face. This head seems almost jewel encrusted with each feather a stroke of careful artistry. Their movements are purposeful yet unhurried. Often perched quietly in mid to upper branches of forest trees, barbets go about their foraging with calm diligence. The golden-throated barbet feeds largely on fruits, particularly figs, but also takes insects when needed. It is a vital gardener of the forest, dispersing seeds far and wide, ensuring that the Himalayan woodland regenerates with abundance. What strikes the listener first, however, is not its colors but its voice. The barbet's call, a repetitive measured tuk tuk or rolling note, resonates through the forest like a woodpecker's drum softened into music. Sometimes solitary, sometimes calling in duet, their voices become part of the forest's daily rhythm, marking the passing of hours in misty hillsides and shaded groves. Unlike the restless flocks of bulbuls or the furtive flitting of flycatchers, the golden-throated barbet carries a dignified calm. It sits still for long stretches, head tilted, throat gleaming, its stout beak ready to seize a berry or insect. For birders, spotting one can be both a challenge and a delight. Their green plumage often melts perfectly into the canopy, only the golden flash or the sound of its call betraying its presence. To watch a golden-throated barbet in Shergaon or the forests of Arunachal Pradesh is to witness a quiet harmony between bird and habitat. It is not a bird of sudden drama, but of enduring presence. Its colors echo the richness of the landscape. Its voice treads into the forest soundscape, and its role as a seed dispenser make it a quiet architect of the very world it inhabits. The golden-throated barbet reminds us that beauty in nature is not always about brilliance that demands attention. It can also be about blending magnificence with purpose. With each fruit eaten and each call given, it keeps alive the continuity of Himalayan forests, standing as a glowing symbol of life's resilience and artistry. Adios, my birding friends. See you all next in episode 14, Arunachal Pradesh.